Every single albatross that you see across this landscape has been fed plastic. So as you open it up, you can see
That's incredible.
all that plastic that's inside this bird.
This is Midway Atoll in the Pacific Ocean, one of the most remote places on the planet and home to the world's largest single albatross colony. At its peak, 1.5 million albatross nest here. Matt Brown, with the US Fish and Wildlife Service, lived here for years and is our guide.
You've got the birds in the air, you've got the birds on the ground, the nesting seabirds. And so when you look at it from this scope, it looks like a fairly pristine landscape that's sort of devoid of the imprint of man.
But that's far from the truth. Yes, only 40 people live on Midway, the area a national wildlife refuge and one of the largest protected areas on the planet. But something very unnatural is happening here. Well, dawn lets you see just how unbelievably beautiful this place is. So pristine here, you almost don't want to touch it or disturb it. But the tide has left a line of trash all along the beach here, pretty much as far as your eye can see. We're 1,300 miles from the nearest city, but the shores here are littered with scraps from the modern world. A shoe, a helmet, a shampoo bottle, even a plastic mannequin's head. What is that?
Tea, something's warmed up in the sun. I wouldn't open it.
No, I'm not going to open it. Don't worry, it's fine. It's all right.
Since 1999, NOAA has removed 125 metric tons of debris from Midway. This is just the last few years' worth, stacked on the runway, waiting for a ship to take it away. So, how does it all get here?
North Pacific gyre swirls between Asia and North America. And as it does, it collects trash and garbage from the coast of Asia, from the coast of North America, and that all swirls down towards the middle, which is where Midway sits. And we're like the fingers of a comb or a giant sieve here. So as that current swings around, we are seeing tons and tons of garbage collect on our beach.
What collects on the beach is just part of the problem. To fully understand how polluted our oceans are, we turn to Midway's main resident, the Laysan albatross.
This is a bird that spends 90+% of its life in the ocean, on the water, forages across the breadth of the Pacific to capture food and come back to their chicks here on this island. Devoid of predators, devoid of people, it is the perfect location.
Still, natural selection claims the lives of thousands of albatross chicks every year. Matt cuts open a bird, dead for only a matter of days.
So as you open it up, you can see
That's incredible.
all that plastic that's inside this bird.
The same colours that distinguish this brand make it appeal to birds as food too. It's the colour of squid.
In a healthy, perfectly pristine ocean, they're grabbing squid, they're grabbing fish eggs, and then they fly back here and they feed that to their chick. The problem is they've eaten a cigarette lighter. They'll fly that all the way back from the center of the ocean and feed it to their chick here. When we find chicks that didn't make it and you look as the carcass decomposes, the feathers will dissolve, the bones will dissolve, but what's left behind is that plastic. You get this perfect little circle of a bottle cap and a piece of broken spoon and a lighter.
Pick up a handful of dirt virtually anywhere on the island and you'll find bits of plastic.
Every year, albatross adults bring 5 tons of plastic back to Midway, along with the food they're trying to feed their chicks.
Despite these challenges, Midway is considered a success story in conservation.
We have made this as perfect a habitat as we can for albatross, and we've seen those numbers increase. The problem is the things that we can't control. These islands are slowly disappearing because of global sea level rise. They're impacted by illegal fishing industries. The plastics that the birds bring in take the place of valuable food that they need. The threats to these birds are beyond the shores of Midway. The threats to these birds are global.
Pound for pound, by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish, a threat that won't be limited to life on Midway.
When we see an animal that relies on a wide swath of the ocean for survival, struggling to deal with plastic ingestion, that should be a warning sign to us. They're eating many of the same things that we eat. They're feasting on fish. I eat calamari. So when I look at the albatross, I don't just see a beautiful bird, which it is, but I see an animal not dissimilar to us that faces many of the same challenges we face and whose success is very much intertwined with our success as a society. We're a bellwether for what's going to happen to the rest of the planet.